Hello and welcome to the video. In this video it's going to be looking at the pieces that we're going to install into the right wing mini Drak. Now the right wing mini Drak is something that we've already put together in terms of the main frame, but it doesn't come with all of the other pieces that you need to actually build it. Those are available separately, which does make an expensive model even more expensive to put together, but it is a fantastic flying model and for many people it stacks up and is worth it. So what I want to do before I get into putting all these things on, which we'll do in the next couple of videos, I wanted to go through and show you how these bits come from Right Wing when you order them. So we've got the box with all the power system bits in and all the servos as well. I've got all the pieces that come when ordering the servo arms and connector kits, and I've also got the flight controller and system that I'm going to use. I'm going to use an Eagle Tree Micro Vector. Now this one didn't come from Right Wing, this came from Eagle Tree. So I want to show you what comes in here because we've done videos on the Eagle Tree Vector before. It was a full-size Vector previously. The mini Drak doesn't have oodles and oodles of space inside, so we are going to have to use something that's a little bit more compact. So this is the kind of a size of a standard flight controller, but let me not get ahead of myself. So let me just show you the motor and other things that's going in. That's just my box of bits. I actually designed 3D printable covers for part of it. Those are the screws and bolts that hold the motor mount into the back of the model. So that's not actually something that came in the kit. But what we have in here, we have a couple of servos along with their servo horns and some extra 3D printed pieces as well. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. We get the electronic speed controller, a very beefy number, XT60 on one side and all the bullet connectors. Looks like 3.5mm bullets on the other side. Big whacking caps, huge heat sink. It is going to be hidden away inside the model. And then we have a couple of additional 3D printed motor mounts have come in this kit as well. And the last thing in the box is the actual motor. I'm intrigued. I really want to know what's under that black writing. So we have lots of hardware to mount it, including the prop adapter, and we have the motor itself, and there it is, actually branded with Right Wing. So that is going to be the power system that's going to go in the model itself. So that's going to be a relatively easy install as part of the piece, but we'll show it in the next video. Next thing we need to have a look at then are the linkages. Now in that kit with the servos and also with the main body of the wing, you'll have noticed that we didn't get any push rods or anything else like that as well. And this is what this kit actually is. So we have again 3D printed horns and horn backings to go through those elevons that we cut and made at the last video. A couple of metal connectors, then we have some extra little bits and pieces. I'm sure I'll figure out what all that's for, including some heat shrink. I guess that's to put over everything to make sure that the clevises can't open up. We have the actual push rods themselves. Here they are. Hopefully you can see it on the camera. Again, they're carbon fibre, but they are quite thick things. And then we've also got this other little bag of mystery, which is what people in this neck of the wood call sausages. Let's see what's in here. That bit fell out the end. That looks like a 3D printed protector to go underneath the nose, which is a nice idea because it is only foam and it's quite a sharp nose. And then the rest of the bag, more 3D printed bits. Okay, so we have probably a launch plate that you could either use for finger launching or for bungee launching. Yet another 3D printed motor mount and a couple of guides or skids potentially for the underneath as well. So that's what came in that kit for the other pieces. So that should allow me to connect my servos up to the control surfaces, which is going to come in handy for flying. And then the final thing that we're putting in here is going to be this fab thing. Lots and lots and lots of cool stuff in here. So we have the flight controller itself, which is absolutely bristling with connectors. Again, if you're interested in the Vector, go and have a look at the Vector series. That functionally is identical to its bigger brother, but this is obviously a lot smaller. I'm going to have to think about mounting, making sure that this is the right way round, because I'm going to need to make sure that I can get into that USB cable. Once you've got the Vector set up and you flash the firmware, then to be honest, most of the stuff you can do through the on-screen display anyway. That's a really cool part of the Vector. It's been built from the bottom up with FPV in mind, and we're obviously going to be doing it with that. Oh, in terms of camera, what I'm thinking of is actually using my Runcam split camera, the latest version of that, and sticking that in the nose, and that would allow me to record in HD as well. So that's my idea, and then have the Runcam split talking to this for the FPV camera. We have a current sensor, currently with nothing on here. One of those is going to be Dean's for the battery, the other one's going to be plugging into that speed controller we've just looked at. That provides the power supply for all the system. We have the little GPS, which also has the magnetometer, so that is going to have to sit somewhere in the craft. I'm going to have to think about where that's going to sit. Ideally I want it away from the high power electronics. And then we have absolutely oodles and oodles and oodles of cables. Now with the other Vector, if you go back and watch that series, I was actually plugging in JST bits together to select whether or not I wanted 5 or 12 volts for the video transmitter, for the camera and those bits. With this, with it being much smaller, what you do is you're actually going to have to solder individual little wires together. And the other thing you have to do with this is you have to create a little block of connectors for the servos to plug into, because you'll notice there's no servo pins at all on the desk. So what I'm tempted to do is, in the next video, I'll install all of the hardware, so all of this kind of stuff along with the electronics, speed controller, motor. We'll figure out where that all fits, and then in the video after that I'll probably spend a bit of time and we'll put the microvector in and do the setup. So join me for the next 2 videos. Now we know what's going in the craft. Hopefully that's interesting. Again, I'll pop links down below, but be aware if you're going to order the mini Drak that you have to order some extra pieces along with it. It doesn't come with a power system, and it doesn't also come with all the connectors and bits and bobs you'll need to connect the servos out to the elevons as well. If you found that video useful or like the content, then please hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you want to go the extra step, you can become a Patreon of the Painless 360 channel and help provide support for what I do here. All the videos created here are put into playlists, so if you're interested in a particular topic, have a look at the playlist, and they all are organised in there to make them easier to use. If you're not sure if there's a video for your particular problem or topic you want to know more about, then add Painless 360 to the Google search term that you're interested in, and that should find the video, article or content about the particular thing that you're interested in having a look at.